What's going on, guys? We're back in the shop with the fastest Yamaha Zuma 50F ever. But hold on, before we go any farther, a lot of you guys got mad that I was saying that, so when you hear me say that, just replace that with how to swap a 50F to a two-stroke. Just say that, all right? But anyway, we're back with the Zuma 50F, and we're gonna be working on the harness today, stripping this all down, taking a lot of this stuff off, seeing what is salvageable and what is not. We'll be working with a new, or not new, a 02 harness from Bug Eye two-stroke, along with the coil, the CDI box, and the reflector. Also, we will be trying to reuse the stock handlebars and all the controls on it, so I think that will be cool. And this eliminating all the stuff that we don't need, and then hopefully by the end of this video we'll have some spark and potentially start it. Who knows? Stay tuned, guys. Alright, so along with all my parts that I have here, I have some tools that I think I'll be needing. I'm definitely going to be needing the multimeter if I'm going to add some power to this harness, because I see a couple of pinouts are completely different from the two-stroke one. A test light, definitely going to need that, and you know, a couple hand tools. And a hammer, always need a hammer. Hammer makes things go in. So what we're going to do is start removing all this old factory harness, and this is a lot of harness, man. It's got to be simply because of the ECU. This is the little ECU right here. All this is going to get eliminated. I undid the headlights to the Zuma, and I see that there are 4 wires in here. So maybe that has the dual headlight mod that we normally do on the Bug Eye is already done. So who knows? Because there's still 2 wires going to each headlight. So we will look into that, see what's going on with that, with the test lights and stuff. But it should be relatively simple to take all this stuff out. And I'm actually curious to see how much of this old stuff I can swap onto the new harness, or what can stay and what can't. But still pondering on the gas tank situation and what I'm going to use for a fuel pump. So if you have any suggestions, definitely go in the comments and drop a comment for me and help a brother out. So let's get started. Let's take this harness off. Let's make this thing the fastest Yamaha Zuma 50F ever. Alright guys, so now we're going to be doing the harness, and I want to start with the Zuma side, showing you guys some pinouts. So this one right here, I'll just try to go through this quick so it's not too boring for you guys. So this 3-wire one right here is going to be your flasher relay. This is going to be your horn. This 4-pin wire right here, this is going to be for the dash on the 2002 to 2011. This 6-pin right here is going to be your left side hand control. Let's see what we got. All right, so these 2 right here, the green and the brown, these are your signal lights, and the 2 reds on the 2002 harness is going to be your brake safety switch. So what I've noticed already is that because of the 50F having the naked handlebar setup, that they extend all the wires down. So instead of this being underneath the, you know, where the dashboard is, it's actually probably gonna have to come all the way down here now. So these are extended, so we're just actually gonna go through this first and see which ones are which, and then see if any of these actually plug in. So right off the bat, I see the green and the yellow, and this right here, the 6 plug. So this goes to your horn, and this goes to your left side hand controls. This right here is another 6 plug. That right there is another 6 plug. That is going to go to your dash. This is the dash harness. This is the flasher relay harness, and I have no idea what this one is. Probably, if I had to guess, maybe your check engine light. There's a couple more harnesses. So this right here is a 4 plug, and this is going to go to your right side handlebar controls, and the rest is pretty simple. These right here are going to, the 2 blacks are going to be your brake safety switches and your brake tail light. And these 2, the green and the brown, or green and the orange, this is going to be your signal lights. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna start seeing if I can plug any of these in. And of course, we have the brown and the brown, or the orange, the green and the green. So those go for 2 for 2. Then we'll hook in the 2 safety switches or brake light switches. Let's plug these in. These ones don't matter because they both do the same thing. We got 3 for 3, 4 for 4. This is going to be the easiest swap ever. Okay, what else do we got? All right, we'll do this one. This is your 6 plug for the left hand control, and look at that. It looks like all the colors too match up on this the same, so that's good. What else do we got? Right here, the horn. Good. Now we got 3 more plugs. How many plugs we got left over here? All right, so this is your horn relay. So we'll leave that alone for now. I mean, not your horn. This is your signal light relay. I have it around here somewhere. Actually, it's right here. Anyway, we'll plug that in later. This is your horn relay, and this is your horn relay. They don't go into each other. They actually go into a module, or actually a relay. So we won't plug that in right now. Next is, this is my dash, and this is my dash. So looks like we have 2 extra wires on the dash. So we're not going to hook this up. We'll probably have to figure out what pins go to what, and then deal with that later. And then this, lastly, this is our right hand control, and they are both male plugs, so obviously they won't fit in. So we are going to probably figure out the pinout on these 2, and then go from there. So let's just leave this how it is now. I'm gonna try to connect the rest of the harness to the frame and see if everything else lines up or matches up, and then we will go from there. All right guys, so now we're at the back of that bike, and we're going to start with the back of the harness for the 2002 harness. So we are going to start with the tail light and all that stuff. So looks like this plug is going to match right up. That was nice. These right here, this is going to be your gas gauge, and this right here is going to be your oil level gauge. So we're just going to leave that off to the side right now. We're going to move this harness up. We are going to get into the CDI box. So this is the CDI box, and just match the colors up. This is all plug and play because this came from the same harness. And then this right here is going to be your stator, and then these 2 right here. All right, so that's gonna plug in like factory, all right? All that stuff is all factory. So CDI box is installed. Just throw that to the side for now. All right, this is your starter relay, so that's already on there. And this right here is going to be the choke for the carburetor. Now, this whole harness right here, which I have to repair, is going to be the, you know, the power and the ground. So all this has to be extended anyway, so I don't mind that it's cut, because I have to cut it anyway because the battery and the 50F is inside of the trunk. So that's gonna have to be extended. This is the ground wire. We're gonna bolt that down, and then we're pretty much done, guys. That was pretty easy. Let's go into the ignition setup. All right, so this is my headlights. These two right here. This right here is my horn. This right here is my ignition, along with this wire right here. And this is my flasher relay. So maybe the other one wasn't my flasher relay. I will get back to you and figure out what that one is. I'm doing all this off the top of my head, so bear with me, guys. So we're pretty much done, guys. Just got to put an ignition on there. I'm going to try to wire the ignition into the factory ignition, into the factory plug, but I know the factory plug's a little different, so we'll figure that out. And I think we should be golden. I'm gonna start zip tying this harness to the frame and making it look nice. Man, look at this thing, it's almost done. I'm very surprised of how much of the 50F harness plugged into the bug eye harness. But look at, like I said, this was all extended down, but most of that is all plugged in. I just have to do the pinouts on the gauge cluster and the right side control. Pretty much. And then this was probably a difficult part, was not difficult, but where to mount it. That was an issue. So that lines up, I can get that in there. I'm gonna have to make a little spacer, and then I have to extend this orange wire to reach right there. But for the most part, it should be good. This right here, I had to throw a self-tapping screw. I really didn't want to do that, but there was no other place to put that, to screw it in. And I'm pretty sure that has to be grounded, so I couldn't really do too much. The headlights are ready. Yeah, man, I think this thing is ready to go. So I think I have to run to the store and grab a few things, maybe like a fuse, inline fuse for this stuff right here, and then see if I have some of this gauge wire to extend it, and some solder. I need some solder, keep forgetting that. So maybe I'll run to the store now, and then I'll come back, and then I'll finish that. All right, guys, just came from the store. Picked up a bunch of wire connectors. Those are pretty ridiculous to find right now. I got some solder, I got a few other things, and now we are going to fix the battery cable and extend the coil cable and try to find a washer or some type of spacer to mount the coil correctly. And then we will, actually we might try to even crank it, but then we'll see if we can mess with some of the dash wiring so we can get this this dash to work too. So let's get into it. All right guys, there you have it. This part's all done. The power wire is extended. That should be plenty enough room for the power and the negative, the positive and the negative cable to reach inside of the trunk. I put an inline fuse in there. All right guys, so I just confirmed what these two wires are. This right here, these two right here are both gonna go for your dash on the Bug Eye Zuma. So the 3 plug and the 4 plug. And then again, this 4 plug right here, the white one, this last one that we have is for the throttle side control. So your kill switch and your starter button. So we are going to be working on this one right now. And I think it should be relatively easy to swap everything over. So I'll just get some pinouts, or I'll just trace them and see where they're going, and then I'll connect them and then let you guys know. So I'll do all the hard work for you guys, all right? Oh man, I hate to do this, man. It literally kills me to do this. I got a working one. It's kind of beat, you know, so I don't think I would use it, but for video's sake and to do things the proper way, it's nice to have a harness where you can just clip in there and go to town. So I'll leave it a little long, so if I ever had to reconnect something to it, I can do it. Oh, that hurt my heart. The question is, do I cut the Zuma harness? No, that wouldn't make any sense. All right, so I'm gonna cut the 50F one, cut it back, and then I'm going to plug it right into this one right here. There we go. I'm actually going to connect them temporary, and then if it's the right way, I'm going to go ahead and solder them and make it look pretty. So we are going to connect the blue to blue. We are going to connect this red and black to this white and black, the top one. We're going to connect the solid black to the black and white. And then we're going to connect this last one to the black. And I'm just going to throw some electrical tape on this real quick, just so nothing's touching. It's all nice. All right, so I'm gonna leave this like this. I forgot that we have to do this coil right here. So let's extend this and then also mount this ground. After that, we can probably fire this thing up. We have to put a battery on it first, and then we probably can see if all the electric start and everything else works, or at least put the battery on and see what's going on. Put this back right about there, should be fine. How many times I forget to put this on and I gotta undo it. It's a pain. Put your heat shrink on. And you know what, we'll just keep it that long, because I don't know eventually if maybe we'll move it in the future or whatever. I mean, I cut it a little bit farther back, but I would like it a little bit longer than normally is. All right, so after this, we should be able to throw a kickstart over, crank the motor over, and get spark. If we do that, we're pretty much done. So, assuming that all the wires on the handlebars are correct that we just did. So, let's try it. Actually, we can hook a battery up to it first. Let's hook a battery up to it first. And then we'll know if we got like the horn works, or if the lights turn on, stuff like that, you know? Tighten this battery up real quick. Tight. Tight. Pull one more thing out my stash. Got a brand new ignition for a Bug Eye. Let's plug this in just so we can know that we got some real power. Alright guys, just put this fuse in. About to hit the key for the first time. We're looking for the tail light to come on. Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do it. There we go. That's a good sign. Good sign. Let's see. Look at that. Signal lights work. That's awesome. All the factory 50F parts. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna hook up the horn. Let's hook up the horn real quick. See if the horn works. Horn works. Look at everything works on that right there, except the we can't tell because of look at that brake light. Switch works. Looks like the bulb is bad though. Still, brake light works. All right, ready to start it. Oh, that one doesn't work. There we go. All right, guys, you see it. Success. The lights work. The horn works. Signal lights work. Kill switch work, and starter works. That's pretty much everything, except it doesn't look like. Oh, it does work. That handle wasn't working for a second. Now it's working. So everything works. Literally everything works. So we're gonna test for some spark, and then who knows. All right, guys. So I found a spark plug. Gonna flip the switch, hit the brake, and put this somewhere you guys can see. Whoa. Sorry. Let's try it again. Put this first. And we got spark, guys. Listen, guys. We got spark, guys. Another achievement. That means all this wiring for the handlebars was all correct. We get to keep all this factory handlebars stuff. That's awesome. Last thing to do is the dash cable. We'll get to that later. But listen, all this stuff works. We got signal lights. We got horn. We got brake. I'm sure the rest of the brake, the rest of the lights work. The next biggest part that we're gonna have to do is this gas tank, figuring out how to make this gas go uphill into the carburetor. So we'll figure that out later. We'll get a new ignition. I have no idea where this, I don't have no previous history on this motor. I just bought this motor, I put it to the side, and I think we picked this up in the second episode of the Liquid Cooled series. So check that out. Check out the first video of putting this together, making the fastest 50F ever come to life, mounting the motor on, and customizing the bracket to make that all fit. But this thing came together really easy, man. I gave you guys the whole blueprint. The wiring is probably the most intimidating part for most people, so I just gave you guys everything, so you guys can definitely replicate it. Look, it's past 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm staying up late just for you guys to get this stuff done. And continue to watch, man. Like, subscribe. Peace.